Hello, beautiful souls. New video today, and because there was so many requests again, um, today we're also going to talk about another mental health topic, and it's all about how to study if you have ADHD or if you just can't seem to focus because you're having a very stressful week or month and you just don't know how to even concentrate, right? And before we start, please make sure to stay until the end of this video because I'm going to give you some bonuses that I really feel, and from personal experience, they help me a lot to improve my life. Okay, so let's go. Okay, first, before starting, a brief introduction. Hello, if you're new to my channel. My name is Elizabeta and I'm a life coach, soul therapist, and Reiki master healer. And my goal is to help you heal, develop, and expand into higher states of consciousness. So, let's start. If you are new to this mental health concept, ADHD basically stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, which is the term given to this common behavioral condition or problem nowadays in society that is basically defined by attention problems with attention, hyperactivity, or impulsiveness, and they might be extreme to a given age, and they're mostly common in children, but it can be literally to any person in the entire world. So now let's start with the tips. The first one that I wanted to mention is doing a body check, and this is so important, especially for myself as a highly sensitive person. I really get really affected by any type of environment. So if the room, let's say, that I'm studying is really chaotic or feels very dense, I'm not going to be able to focus there. So I really like quiet spaces, or even I usually work also in a working space at the mall. So the environment needs to be pretty chill, pretty calm. If it's not quiet, it can be at least peaceful. So there's no like any chaos going on, any dysfunctional fights or arguments. So make sure that whenever you're or whatever you are studying, it's somewhere that you feel comfortable and safe. And once you found your spot, your place, do a quick body scan, Ask yourself, are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Or do you need to use the bathroom? Do you need anything for your body right now? This is super important because you can't study well if your physical body is not nourished and feeling comfortable. Now, after the body scan is done, you need to do a mind check. And mind, when I refer to the mind, I also refer to the emotions. So check on your feelings. Are you feeling currently mad, upset, angry, happy, or maybe even overwhelmed or sad, If you're feeling very strong emotions, address them right now, face them. For example, if you're feeling very dense in your body, so what you can do is just take a bath, relax, just release all the tension. Or if you're feeling dense, instead of taking a bath, you can actually meditate or even work out to release all this stored energy, all this blocked energy. So whatever is basically on your mind, address the problem. Now it's the time to get it out, to vent, to rant. Now is not the time to fix the problem, whatever you might have it. So if you're worrying about something that is not related to your studies, you need to just write it out or talk to your therapist or to a trusted friend or a family member that you know you trust. So talk it out and express what's on your mind, and this might be helpful to you a lot. You can do also some breathing exercises and some EFT tapping, for example. I'm going to add the link to the EFT tapping exercise. This is a very special exercise that I teach you from my therapy sessions. And if you see the video, you will see that it's not public. So if you get the link, you're really special for having it, because it's something that it's a one-time opportunity. Okay, so you have the link to the EFT tapping exercise below in the video description. Now, the body tapping and the mind shaking, the mind emotion shaking will take around you from 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how well you're bottling up and how much stuff do you have usually. Now, the third point on studying with ADHD or, concentration problems, focus problems, is to address what is scaring you. What are you most afraid of? So, whatever you're writing a paper, going through homework from school, or any assignments, there's something that really is the scariest for you and that gets you some really uncomfortable feelings. So say it out loud. What's the worst that you're feeling? What's the worst task that you need to do that you're so afraid of? Ask yourself, why, actually, how or what are you afraid of? Like, are you afraid you will never going to finish this long-term project, this presentation, because you're so far behind? Or are you maybe afraid that you're going to fall because you don't just understand, you're going to fail because you don't understand the subject? Or maybe you're going to be mocked or humiliated or laughed at in class because you're the one that is struggling with the subject. Just write this fear, write it down, okay? This is because this fear is preventing you from getting started. But once you expressed it out loud or writing it down on a journal, you're no longer blocked by this fear, and so you can get started. Now, the next step when you're just going to start studying is to get organized. Please, this is very important, especially if you're struggling with ADHD. And it happened to me as well. I never really, like, I had so much problems and struggles with getting concentrated until I started using lists, for example. So what you can do is to start by looking at everything you have to do, at everything you have to study, and make sure that you have all the necessary materials. So now take a piece of paper from your notebook or a blank piece of paper and write a chart with 3 columns. So 3 columns, right? 1, 2, and 3. Kind of like this. You have the paper divided in 2. And in the first column, you're basically going to write what you need to do. So I'm going to put down here what to do. And the second color, you're going to estimate more or less how much time it will take to do each task, So I'm going to writing down how much time, and just, I would recommend you to add, let's say that a specific homework takes around 10 minutes, add 5 minutes in case you need a break for each task. And in the third column, it will be the actual amount of time that it takes for you to do it, that you can actually, have a chronometer or something, a timer for taking note of how much time it actually takes for you to do the specific task, the homework or assignment. So it will take something like this. This is what you need to do, the task, the homework. This is how much time you calculate more or less it takes. And this is actually the time that it took you to do the specific assignment or homework. Then you can figure out what you need to do, what things, subject you need to study, and you can write down each subject in order of priority with numbers. Now, before getting into the actual studying, I'm going to also add more things and keys and tips that you actually take into account. Please remove any distractions that you have in your desk. This is just from personal experience. I usually struggled a lot because I usually have lots of stuff in my desk. And when I have like lots of books and things, for example, I have this bracelets, it's not organized and I can't even concentrate or focus when there's so much stuff on my desk. So organize your desk, just get out, just put the necessities, any books that from the subject that you're studying, your pen and pencil, and that's it. And maybe a lamp that you're using for, for the light. And of course, the list of things that you need to do. Now, when you're in the middle of the study, consider rereading the expectations of the assignment or what you need to study about. And I tell you this because it happens both with the exams, the test, or the studying session or the assignment, that you read it at first glance and you're like, oh my god, this is huge, I can do it. And you just freeze. I actually experienced this with math tests in high school. Like I read the exam and I was like, I can't do that. And I just stopped. So you need to prepare yourself for the assignment in hand. Once you know the expectations of the assignment of the subject that you need to study, you can figure out how to complete them. So before, you can make a list of the criteria you need to study, criteria that you need to do in the paper, such as word count, number of pages, time at least that you will study, things like that. Now, another important point if you're struggling with the ADHD and studying sessions is that you need to begin as soon as you know about the test or the exam or the assignment, whatever you're working on, because people with ADHD usually wait till the last minute to actually start studying or to complete the assignment. So starting earlier can save you a lot of time, a lot of amount of time, and actually can save you lots of stress and improve your grades overall. So starting to study over time instead of just waiting till the last night before the exam can actually help you to remember facts long term. So this is very important for subjects such as math or science, where knowledge actually builds up from previous information that you actually learned before. What I really recommend is to check where and when is the exam due, and to just plan a little bit of time studying every day. Now, another tip for studying with ADHD or loss of concentration is to actually know yourself and what work best for you. So this is very important. Like in our society, we tend to just compare with each other a lot. And if you're watching this video, I just wanted to forget about comparisons with other people. Just forget about that and focus on yourself, okay? So some questions that actually help you, because I can ask you this in therapy, but now as I'm telling you in this video, It's the same thing, the same goal. Some questions you can ask yourself are, does maybe exercising help you focus? Or can you focus better after dinner or late at night or maybe early in the morning? Another question would be, do you work better if you begin as soon as you get home from school? Another question would be, can you hyper focus on anything you do, or does it have to do with something you're really interested on? Another question would be, do you need maybe a 30 minutes break to relax after having lunch, before you begin studying? Now, another question that I can tell you is, what are your preferred ways of studying? How your struggles go with studying? So I made this graph here. So does your studying usually go from top concentration and then it goes decreasing like this? Or do you struggle with concentrating and then you focus, there's a little bit of time to focus, and then it goes just decreasing as you as you spend time on studying? Or if it goes on the opposite direction, if you're struggling and then it goes increasing over time. So I'm going to leave you the paper a little bit here, just a few seconds, and figure out what works best for you and just prepare the time studying. Now, another tip I would like to give you is to repetition. Just repeat things 100 times a day. With ADHD, you might be struggling with concentration and memory especially. So if you need to read a specific chapter, what you went through in class, more than once, and review it more than once, even 3 times or 4 or 5, please do so. I usually like the 3 times rule. Just make sure that you go through everything 3 times, even if it's the subject that you're most good at. Now, I talked about removing distractions from the desk, right? Anything. This includes also remove distractions from the phone, like screen alerts, any just notifications from the phone. And talking about the phone, I just wanted to recommend you some apps that are actually quite helpful. I'll try them myself, and they can help you to get better concentrated, to get better focus. So if you type in Google, I use an Android. In case you use an iPhone, I think they are the same apps posted. So if you put focus studying on Google Play, you can find this beautiful app which is Focus to Do, Pomodoro, and Tasks. Pomodoro is the studying method, and it's basically this app. You can have it here. And there's the timer. You actually need to use timers for studying sessions. There's detailed reports for your studying time. It keeps you motivated, especially with ADHD, that you really have to chase this dopamine urges. So if something doesn't really make you feel good, you'll get easily bored. So this application is actually quite good, and it can synchronize within all the devices, not only the phone but also the laptop. There's a calendar for scheduling your daily work. It's actually a good one. Then this one, which is, it's so super cute. It's called Forest here, and it's so cute because it has like a little plant, and you need to grow this plant, and the second that you just get out of the screen, or you go to other things and you just distract yourself, the plant dies. So your goal is to basically grow and water the plant with your time that you are focusing on. It's actually a very creative idea. And yeah, there's many similar apps. There's also this one, which is the similar with the with the plant. This here's raining. It's actually quite nice. So you can use these apps. I'm going to put the links down below in the video description. This is another one, Pomodoro. This with the moon. There's targets, there's a timer, and it can actually help you to become more organized. So I actually recommend these apps a lot. I'm going to put the links in the video description so you can check them. Now, more tips to study that I use myself are reading assignments aloud to yourself. It can also be like memorizing whatever when you're studying and just explaining it to yourself as if you were a teacher. And this can help you to make you understand if you actually got the subject or not, or if you need some time more to study. You can also highlight important text with color pens, take notes, or create mind maps with the most relevant information. So if you don't know what mind maps are, these are basically, you put like a circle with the most important topics. This is an example, okay? So you put a circle, this is like the subjects, and then you put circles here, and then you can add other little circles with list important information like this. It's actually pretty useful. So yeah, get creative. Don't stop your creativity. You can actually get more ideas to study. Now, one of the last tips I actually wanted to add is to set a deadline, but this was explained before. I just need to remind it again, because don't wait until you just have this dopamine, this urge to start doing something. Just do it. Even if you don't feel motivated, I have also 2 videos on motivation. I can put them down below so you can check them. But just set a deadline and study during short periods, the Pomodoro technique. Short periods, just 40 minutes studying, and then take a break of 20 minutes and then start again. Also, your goals. Know yourself. Again, the other technique, know yourself. Don't put unrealistic goals. If you have a large project, divide it into smaller pieces, into achievable goals, into smaller tasks, so you can complete it in a short amount of time. Now, finally, after you achieve the studying session, after you achieve any assignments, you need to reward yourself. You need to tell your brain that you're an amazing person, that you did it. You did it. No matter how long it took, you did it. So just get this chart that I showed you before, this one. Write down how long it took and then reward yourself. And it can be a hot bath or watching your favorite episode on Netflix, for example. It can be also a quick dance party by yourself, or a walk around the block, or texting a friend. Now, before finishing this video, I also wanted to add on sleep. Sleep is crucial if you want to study well. So make sure that if you have trouble sleeping, make sure that you go to bed early, so your brain knows that it's actually sleep time, and you can sleep more hours if you need to. And if you didn't know, sleep is actually associated with short-term memories, just transitioning into long-term memories. So sleep is very important for improving your grades and your studying sessions. So if you are enjoying this, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to this channel for more information on mental health, psychology, and spirituality. And just let me know if these tips help you. Just make sure to implement them. Again, I hope you really took down some good notes, because this was a lot to take in. It can be overwhelming, but with notes and with just taking some time, you can actually do it. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to turn on the notifications bell so you can stay updated with the latest news and updates. And yeah, the bonus tips actually I wanted to tell you are the special offers I give you that are basically helping a lot to ground your energy, because when you have ADHD, you're basically ungrounded. You're not feeling stable and you're all over the place, spacey. So what I offer in my therapy sessions, there are many options, but many of them, just some I'm going to tell you, are psychic surgery, implants, energetic implants removal, and just grounding exercises that you need for your daily life. So that's it. Yeah, hope you really enjoyed this video, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.